And welcome back, my fellow Aeternians. As always, it's me, Emperor AP, and I am so incredibly excited to be with you here today. In a second, I'm going to go ahead and actually adjust the height of our camera here because I think I'm not able to be close enough to really read you guys' comments and engage with you. But in the case that you can hear me, thank you all so much for being here. As you can see behind me, we have the Imperial throne room set up. This is something that we've set up in our RV as we're still actively maintaining and improving it. So this is going to change a lot. The entire RV is in position to be comfortable to start working of time and to start fully developing. We are in a position where we can actually put in decorations and things and not worry about them going bad and, you know, fabrics and things like that getting moldy or mildewed from the weather. And so this is super exciting. We have some shelves that we put in. If you've seen our Christmas just released today, we talk about the building of this, the development of this, kind of our Christmas present to ourselves. And so we spent a long time doing it, and it will be featuring more and more in future videos and in the different things that we do. I think this place is, in a way, like a strategy area for us. This is like our home base. If you followed us for years now, you may have noticed 3 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago, I had lived with one of my friends, and we had a shed that I ended up using as our headquarters. This was a place for me to develop things and to start to show you guys kind of consistent building. So every time I went out there, I could say, hey guys, this is what we've done to the headquarters last time, and this is kind of what we've been up to as far as different projects, and I could kind of keep everything nice there, so it wasn't like with a set where you have to pick things up and, you know, put them down and readjust things every single time you set up. This is wonderful because it is something that's completely ours, very similar to that shed, to that headquarters, but now we have it as an even more established and developed thing. It's also just nicer because of a ton of the equipment that we bought over the years. We've, you know, able to build these nice shelves and able to put in a lot of the things that have featured in videos over the last few years. All of these, in fact, things that we have built actually fairly recently, which is quite impressive for us. As you guys know, we've been around for 7 years total now, with start growing and progressing here in the community, but having growth is really exponential. You know, if you can keep pushing it and you can keep finding new ways to grow and to have fun with developing micronationalism or in anything that you're doing in life, we've been able to start throwing all these things at the wall and making stuff with the opportunities that you guys have presented us. So if you guys have any questions about what's on the wall behind me, I would love to kind of brag about them and show off what we've been up to. But also, I know Christmas is 2 days away. Hanukkah was a week ago, 2 weeks ago. So I wanted to say happy holidays to everybody. Everybody celebrating around the world. And it's about to be New Year's as well. We'll probably have a couple more live streams before New Year's, but that being the case, this is going to be a great way to kick things off. I'm also going to see if I can't turn on the light right here to give us a little bit of a better thing. I'm not sure if that's better or worse now, actually. Now that I think about it, let me adjust our camera, and we will be back at it. Also, again, hope you guys are doing well. Let me go ahead and fix this. That way, I can get a little closer to you guys, and I can start seeing more of the comments, interacting properly with everyone. Let's see. We can bring it a little closer, turn it a little bit, so we get all of our cool stuff still on camera, but also I can sit like right here and check up a. And here we go. So now we're a little bit, it still works. Let me actually just pull the throne up closer. Oop. Okay, let's see. First off, good to see everybody jumping in. We have Trains, good to see you. From Eldonia. Oh, okay, my apologies. What's going on, Eldonia? Good to see you. Kingdom of Liverclaw says, can we agree that our micronations shall support each other's kingdoms? I appreciate you asking the questions. A few things to get into there, but that is a great question. Francisco says, hello AP, nice to see you after all this time. It'd be great to see you, Francisco. I know you've been in a lot of live streams, especially over the summer, and since then we've missed you. We hope you've been doing well. Again, Francisco, if you're trying to catch up on the channel, I definitely recommend you check out the video we just did, because it talks about all of this, and it is a segue into what we're going to be doing in 12,024, a brand new year, and an exciting time for everyone, I think, in the community. So great to see you, Francisco. Thanks for hanging out with us. Liverclaw, so to your question, you can apply for an alliance with the Empire through our website, which is the most direct answer I can give you to get you to what you're looking for, I believe. For our friendship with you, we are, of course, always friends with other micronations. We want to support you 100%. The Empire being an empire and not a kingdom, it's interesting because we have a particular way that we do things. And so ultimately I am the monarch and I can make the decision to create that alliance or that friendship. But we always have a certain level of friendship that we're trying to develop with micronations, unless there's something that has soured our relationship in some history. We want to be your friend, absolutely. We want to help you and support you regardless, just because you're a micronation, because you're somebody who's going into what we've gone into and are having a time with it and trying to develop it. So that being the case for us, we are really, really trying to push into developing the economic side of that, going from where we have been as far as trying to slowly build up our economy and our infrastructure. And now we're looking at alliances, for example, with the Draconian Empire is a micronation we have an official alliance with, and that says, hey, we're going to support your nation, we're going to do all this, and we have these specific kind of criteria laid out for how we want to work together. So that being the case with the Draconian Empire, we've had all these conversations, we've done all these things and built this rapport with them, so they know what we want and we know what they want, and we're able to start kind of working together on that. For a lot of micronations, they will try to reach out to us and try and ask us to develop alliances or friendships. And so the only difference for us really between an alliance and just supporting someone in general, because they're a micronation, just being their friend, is that we don't need a formal piece of paperwork or some specific fancy deal to arrange to support you and to help you and to be your friends. We always want to do that. You growing and succeeding helps us to grow and succeed. And also, I know how it is personally to be in your shoes if you're developing a micronation. I am still in your shoes. Developing a micronation and trying to get people to understand what I'm doing and trying to get people to support and accept our direction. And so as we keep growing and as we keep building these efforts to make ourselves more and more successful, we want to teach you guys. That's the purpose of this channel. We want to educate you guys about what we're doing, who we are. I hit my mic. I'm sure that sounded awful. I'm so sorry, everybody. But we want to show people who we are, what we're doing, and then we want to give you guys support as well. So, hope I answered your question, but if you type the Empire of Aeternia into Google, if you want to develop an alliance, a formal agreement with us to try and do some specific economic thing, or to support each other in specific ways, you can apply at our website under the Alliances tab. Great to see everybody. Ooh, Francisco commented, said, I've mostly distracted myself from micronationalism. I mean, I'm still kind of involved, but others do my job. That's completely fair, especially because as a micronationalist, if you're someone who decides to do it long term, if you decide it's your interest to keep going for years to come, you will find that there are waxing and waning periods in your life, just like with everything you do. There are going to be times that you get exhausted and fatigued. There are going to be times that you decline in interest, or that the direction that you want to go with something changes. And that's normal. That's completely fine. you want to make sure that you do it in the best interest of your nation and try and think of the other people who are doing it. But I think you hinted at something really important there, that, you know, when you did have this change, when you did have this this busier time in your life, you're saying, hey, I'm letting other people run it. Like, we still need to do things as a nation, still committed to the nation as far as its success, just wanting to have it go to people who can more directly run it day to day. And that's super smart of you. I think that's amazing. So good luck with that. I hope you're doing well. And we miss you. We're glad to see you here in a live stream. Kingdom of Liverclaw says, I'm ready to start printing money for Liverclaw. That's awesome. I'm glad to see that. Think about what it is that you're trying to do with that and how you're going to be using it, and also what it means to you to have your own currency. What is the strategy for having a currency? Francisco says, I'm just there as a ceremonial figure, but that's still exciting. Kingdom of Noblestan, hello Noblestan, good to see you. ASJW, great to see you. ASJW says, rule in democracy. Absolutely, there are plenty of amazing democratic micronations, and we're excited to know and partner with them. Again, we're not a democracy, but we do try to take citizen opinion into account and try to do things in the best interest of our people. Francisco says, and also we renamed Yarrow to Fuck Yanka Republic. Yarrow's just not original. Makes sense. Why is it not original? And also, good to see you. ASJW says, hey guys, hey, Kingdom of Tercetia says, hey, what's going on? Thank you guys for being here. I know it is 2 days before Christmas for those of you who celebrate, and so a lot of people are really busy. Even, you know, Hanukkah being 2 weeks ago, 15th was the end of it, I think. That is completely understandable that you guys are busy. Everybody's kind of shutting down for the year, so I'm excited to get started next year and have this even more improved and have some special things to show you guys. But for those of you who are here with us tonight, you're helping our watch time, and so that means a ton. You know, when we do big projects like this, it is incredibly helpful that you guys are able to support us in that way. So real quick, sorry to turn my back on you guys, but I wanted to show you a few things from the wall. So going through history, going through Aeternian documentation, I suppose. One of our videos that we did in August was actually of our founding day ceremony, the day that marks when the Empire of Aeternia was officially created 7 years ago. And so as we continue to go forward and as we continue to make strides as a nation, we want to keep growing what we do to celebrate and how we celebrate the people who are a part of Aeternia. That was actually something that was inspired by Emperor Von Doom of the Draconian Empire and some things that they do. And so I was really excited to get started on this and kind of develop with it. But we made awards, and as sweetheart as Tiffany is, she ended up making me an award, which was amazing. But we made these awards, and we gave them out to a number of citizens and some foreign dignitaries. For example, the Von Dooms of Draconia got an award apiece. And as well, we ended up in a situation where we had people from our local community who weren't even citizens who got, or foreign dignitaries for that matter, who got awards. These are people who represent their nation in the U.S., who have been incredibly helpful and supportive to us and are really, really connected to the people in our community, you know, people who have been lifelong friends of ours, people who I think will continue to be in our lives for a long time. So that was a big part of our celebration, and I just wanted to show that off to you guys. My award that they gave me, which was super sweet, was the Wise Owl, and I will show you guys Tiffany's over here. Tiffany did all this like crazy beautiful, like the arrow of progress and the owls and stuff as being their own individual pieces, which was incredible. But here's Tiffany's. Tiffany got the Legend Award, which, if you guys don't know, will actually induct her into the Legends Tome, a book about incredibly famous people in Aeternian history, why they are... Oh no! I dropped Tiffany's award. Oh goodness. I did not set that up properly. That is disrespectful to the legendary nature of Tiffany's name. But this Legends Award connects her to the Legends Tome. She is going to be the first inductee into the Legends Tome, explaining to you guys why her legacy in the Empire already is so incredibly important, and how other people in the future are going to, it'll be rare, but they can get inducted into the society of people who are deeply connected to who Aeternia, what Aeternia is, and helping Aeternian citizens, connecting to their community. So, Tiffany will be a part of the Legends Home that we will be developing over the next year. As well, we have a number of different things. We have this cool Gaia statue, which we've been trying to figure out what to do with. This is from one of our previous metal melts. We were actually going to do this for a client, but things ended up changing, so we ended up not needing to use it. But we want to do something with it. We also have, of course, our Imperial ingots. These are aluminum ingots. Super cool. And we have, what's interesting, we have a little knife that I made. Thought it was pretty cool. Out of aluminum. Not as sharp as other knives, but one of the things that I wanted to show you guys. Oh, another thing from the video. If you guys saw our Christmas video we uploaded today, we have a little mini throne that I show in the video as kind of proposing to the RV that we're going to develop it into a throne room. And so this is kind of the first step in us developing the RV, one for going out to Vitae and being a kind of an emergency shelter for us, a place that can allow us to meet all of our necessities very quickly out there while we continue to develop the dwellings we are. But then after that, this vehicle very well may be turned into a support vehicle for actually going out and advertising what Aeternia is doing, allowing us to connect to other micronations and travel around and do things like that. So this may become a mobile headquarters for Aeternia in the future. Now that's a far future idea. That's not something that we're working on in 12,024, but that is something that could be worked on in subsequent years. So as we keep going, check out for that. And also thank you guys for liking the video. We have 9 people in right now. We have 9 people who are hanging out with us, even though it's a couple days before the holidays. Thank you guys for making my holidays cheery. Again, you guys are helping our watch time. Right now, we are getting close to 2,000 hours of watch time for the year. If we keep going at this rate, we could hit 3,000 within the first few months of 12,024, maybe March, April. And if we did that, we could easily jump into starting to get more bonuses and more support for the Empire. That also means that we could start jumping into getting monetization. Monetization is at 4,000, and once we hit 3, we will be right on the cusp, and we'll be doing a big push to get it. But that being the case, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I also have this guy, which we have not put in a video yet. This is a unique thing right now to Aeternia that I haven't shown off yet. It's supposed to have another arm here, but this is, I'm trying to think of a name for it. It's a very weird little tool that we're starting to use. I have thought about calling it like Mr. Silly or something like that, like something weird. But the idea being that you can take a bottle, right, and you can pull it through the mouth here, and when you pull it through, it will make plastic ribbon out of the bottle. And so you can recycle plastic bottles using this by being able to turn them into rope, or eventually, as we'll show, 3D printer filament. But this is something that's really interesting for us. This is a brand new thing that has never been shown on the channel. In case you guys were wondering, if you have a name for this guy, let me know what it is, because I would love to develop something cool with it. And essentially just like the idea of this as like a one-time bit, as like a character on the channel to kind of show you guys what we're doing with it, and how we're getting into recycling. Was going to be to have him be kind of a dark character, so his name would be like Mr. Silly, but then when you actually watch the video, it's like he has like a really like dark view of the world or whatever. He's like, climate change is destroying us, we're ending ourselves. Like it becomes like a really wild little character. And so we're using this little tool, this little contraption to start recycling plastic, which means that we're going to be able to do a ton of stuff in the future with that plastic material, utilizing it out on Vitae, potentially making it into forms that are that are valuable enough for people to take interest in buying. So we had 11 viewers right then. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. But that would be what this is. So then we keep going here. Let's see. And we have the little hatchet that we made for collecting herbs and stuff like that in a previous video. As you can see, this guy, we want it to go up on the Imperial market on our Etsy shop, but we have not put it up there yet. So if you guys wanted to potentially buy this, they're not too hard for us to make, so we could definitely make some more. But it has the arrow of progress in the hilt there, in the handle. And then you can see, of course, the little aluminum axe head and the copper detailing. So this is something that we have been excited about and wanting to show off more. If you guys would be interested in getting this, let us know. You could also just reach out to us at aeternianempire@gmail.com and buy it directly from us. And then also we have 3 successful and 1 failed calexit coin. So these are coins which we are still in development for the group Yes California. We are trying to get these pieces to be of higher quality and also to make 10 of them. Like I said, right now we are at 3, and these are ones that have been cast in pure copper and are exciting for us to show off. So that's 1, that's 2, and then this is 3. This is the very first one that we did. Not our first attempt, but first successful. As you can see, 1 out of 10 on the back. And that is what we have developed so far. Now we have 7 more of these to go, which is quite a lot, but this is something that I wanted to jump back into for a long time. As you can see, this is a failed one. This one was almost perfect, but this is a very hard thing to do here. So we have the nice calexit logo, but then on the back, the numbers didn't come out. And so we're trying to have this all go at once, and it became a big difficulty. But let's see. Okay, so we have all of these set up. I also have this, which I made. I need to add some more pieces back onto it, but it is this bird's head that has been kind of shaped out of aluminum. And we have it here on this, maybe like an eagle's head. And then we have it here on this background, this little wooden disc that's been carved out with some flowers on it. So this is also something that we'd like to make into a pendant on the channel. So let me know if you guys would want that. We're going to put like some resin on it potentially and make it really cool. But that'll be in the case. I just wanted to show off everything on our shelves here and let you guys see. As well, you might be able to notice that we have these little vines up here. Well, you guys may not be able to see that, but I can show off this one. These little vines right here, these are really cool, actually. They're something that we got when we were in an apartment together, Tiffany and I, and we used it to decorate the table, which was one of the places that we did videos primarily. So we've changed our backgrounds a lot in our videos, but one thing that's nice is this can be something that's potentially more permanent. Again, once we get out on Bate more permanently, we may have new places to utilize and have a little more exciting a background. But for right now, this is the best we've ever had, I think. Of course, we'll be fixing up the lighting and doing a few other things to make it a little more exciting per the channel. But not bad. It's super exciting to have you guys here hanging out with us. Real quick, Tercetia says, hey, I'm here, good to see you. Francisco said, rule in democracy. That didn't apply to me. Interesting. Liverclaw says, for any micronation, I make an alliance, which I like to think of like a micronation version of NATO. Very cool. There are a lot of micronational organizations. If you check out some of our videos, we've talked about micronational organizations, and certainly the benefits to them. There are quite a number, but they also can be very difficult to run and maintain, especially for the different goals that different micronations are looking for inside of them. Again, for the Empire of Aeternia, the reason we make alliances primarily, alliances individually with micronations, are for economic purposes. So if there aren't a specific economic benefit, it's unlikely that we will make a formal alliance out of something. However, you can see that we have a lot of stuff here that we are trying to develop. And so if you have something that you're trying to do that you feel like we can help with and work with, let us know, because we definitely can make an alliance out of that. Even things like creating content for us and stuff like that are things that are absolutely valuable and worthy of an alliance. So it just depends on what you're interested in doing and how you're going about developing. But all that being the case, this is what we've been up to. We still have a long ways to go on it, but this is the start of the Imperial Throne Room. Super exciting. I hope it continues to be like a better background for us as time goes on. One of the things that I did want to point out, which is super cool, of Tiffany, but these are kind of these little rustic shells. She helped design these. They're very, very cool. Let me show you guys. Twist over. Is my mic still good? I would like to think it is, even though it doesn't look like we've been on the right mode. Okay. Hope this is working for you guys. Let's see. Going to turn right here, and I want to show you these shelves, because the shelves themselves are really cool. That rhymes. The shelves themselves are really cool. They actually have like this moss over them, which is kind of cool for our aesthetic here. They are these like very wild shells, in addition to having this nice like fake vine thing going on. So it gives us kind of a pop of color, and it also is really cool just to have incorporated this kind of natural design into our background, especially when we're trying to develop vitae, which is incredibly wild right now, and we're trying to tame it. So it's maybe a little bit metaphorical there, but kind of the nature creeping into our little scene here. But that being the case, it's good to see everybody. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us, and I hope I can answer your questions. The more that we develop as a nation, and the more that we try to do new things, we're always going to find. See if I can move this guy to make the lighting a little bit better for us. Let's see how that looks. Ooh. Maybe too bright. Feels worse, but you guys let me know what you think. I actually might put it behind the camera. See how that looks. Yep, feels worse. Back to leaving it alone, I guess. Okay. But again, this is a start. This is something that we have for ourselves that is completely controlled by us, and is something that as we go forward with future videos, we can incorporate, which is awesome. Again, this is going to be kind of a headquarters for us, and as we go forward and make it nicer and nicer, hopefully we can have heads of state visit. Hopefully we can have special ceremonies and things like that here. And it's something that we can develop into a little bit of an icon. So I'm excited to see how it goes. Okay, Eldonia says, does Aeternia follow specific ideologies? That's a great question. So Aeternia has specific ideologies that it incorporates, but I would say, just like any unique organization, there's going to be some mix. You know, nobody is completely perfectly aligned with one ideology or another. People always have hypocrisies, first off, but even outside of that, people have like just their own, their own differences in opinion and slight changes. To answer your question, we are a mix of a number of things. We have a good bit of socialist values. In particular, we believe that we are trying to develop something that improves the base standard of living for all of our citizens. So the goal of Aeternia is not necessarily to have like myself as the monarch become the most rich and powerful person in the world, but rather it is about utilizing the resources that we have collectively to be able to improve all of our lives. So if there's some people who are doing really, really well, we want to take those resources and use them to help improve other people's lives so that everybody has a certain base level of comfort that we can improve on. So, right now that's making sure everybody has food, water, shelter, that sort of thing, as residents in Aeternia, as people who actually live in our territories full time. But then we're going, my voice like peaked real hard. People who live in our territories full time. I had to hit it with the deep voice. But that being the case, when we keep going, those quality of life, that base quality of life can keep improving. We have ideas and methods for that, such as developing libraries, which are not only just for books and education, but actually for skills-related classes, as well as for physical tools, things that would be expensive for an individual to get on their own to complete a project or to invest in something that they want to develop. But as Aeternian residents, specifically people who have better and better connection to the Empire of Aeternia, and have invested more and more in this library, they will be able to access more and more expensive materials for free, so long as they agree that whatever tier expense level they are at, that damages would be connected to them in some way. But this would allow people to their account in some way. But this would allow people to utilize tons and tons of materials and effectively Aeternia's workshops at their fingertips by delivering those tools and specialty materials to them. But that being the case, all of that is to say that while we are, again, very socialist in economic policy and in wanting to support that, we are not super democratic, which feels very anti-socialist. But it is in current terms, just I think because of our size. Again, we take people's opinions into. We value people's opinions. We take them into consideration. But right now, nobody lives in the Empire of Aeternia besides myself and Tiffany. Nobody, commits full time and has their whole life kind of absorbed by it, except for myself and Tiffany and a few other people who, again, don't have everything connected to it, but are getting more and more connected to it. So as we keep developing and sharing more of what we do, it's important to remember that we are trying to do so with respect to the people who are most heavily invested in it. So as we start to develop residency, as people start to go out and live on Vitae, of course those people are going to have an incredible amount of say-so because their sway is based on their investment in Aeternia. If you're living in Vitae, you should have a say in what happens in Vitae. Now, this doesn't mean that I won't still have a final rule, but that should be more hands-off, I think, as things keep moving forward. But that being the case, as we continue, I want to kind of develop more of what Aeternia's ideology is. Maybe developing Aeternianism. If you guys would like to learn about that a little bit more, we can maybe make a series of videos on what Aeternianism is, or what the in Aeternian Imperial ideology is, or whatever. We really have a lot of ideas about what a great way to develop is, that have been pulled together from myself, from Tiffany, from things that we like and have read, connecting to the people who have been in our empire previously and people who still are, our other government officials, Master Stephen Vince, our former government official, Master Gray Mayer, and people who have just dedicated their time. Even people right now, we have a brand new citizen, Arjun, who is a part of our empire and who has become a citizen, a longtime viewer of the channel by the name of TRC. And so Arjun is really cool because right out of the gate, he has ideas, he has things that he wants to develop and to do with us. And so this is something that is really complicated and really hard to do, but as somebody finds their niche and what they're interested in developing and what they want to make Aeternia to be in their own efforts and time here, we want to give them the room to do that. So we're trying to figure out ways to get people into positions that they want to be in is a big deal for us. And that's part of that strategy, that ideology. But enough rambling on ideology. Great question. Great to see you visiting the throne room. ASJW says, it's like when Molossia was at war with Mustachiosan or something. Please tell me who was Molossia's enemy of. I messed things up. Not sure. I get what you're talking about, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Kingdom of Liverclaw says, my currencies are claws, and Maxie's claws equals pounds, and Maxie's equals pennies. Interesting. ASJW says, bruh, every time I say if, the autocorrect kept turning it to of. Oh, dang. I'm sorry to hear that. That is definitely not fun. Sorry, I was trying to check my mic there. Francisco says, because Yara is literally the name of a country in Far Cry 6. Oh, okay, fair. ASJW says, oh no, nice. Oh, did you make it that first? Like were you the first one to come up with Yara, or did you get it from Far Cry 6? Also, let's see. Liverclaw says, can you please remind me of how you apply to make an alliance with you? Of course. You can apply on our website. So that's aeternianempire.wixsite.com/Imperial Market. Long name, long URL. What's better is to go to Google and type in the Empire of Aeternia. If you can do that. The link to our website actually is in the description of this video. I don't know why I'm jumping around so hard. The link for the website is in the description of this video. That's the easiest way for you to get to it. And once you do, you go to the Alliances tab of our website, and it says, apply for an alliance. There's a button. Click that button. It'll take you to a Google Google Forms application that will allow you to fill out the form for an alliance. We take it, read it over, and send you information about our thoughts and how we'd like to proceed. So thank you so much. If you do apply for an alliance with us, it means a lot. Serbian Muslim says, Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, Serbia. It's good to see you. ASJW says, yeah, very cool. Oh, very cool. So they're talking to each other. Good to see you. ASJW and Serbia hitting it off. Divano Knobo says, I didn't think Mr. Silly was a tool at first. I thought it was just a thing to look at. That is completely fair. But it does have a practical purpose. And that's what I thought was really cool about it, right? It just looks like this little monster thing. But it is actually a practical tool that we can use and develop pretty cheaply to be able to get more Aeternians into recycling for us. ASJW says, the Minahasa and Owl are adorable. TBH. Hey, very cool. Serbia says, I'm the Emir of the United Emirates of Kosovo, Sanzak, and Tetovo. How are you, AP? Doing well. Good to see you, Emir. I hope you are enjoying your time here at the end of the year. We are approaching 12,024. How do you feel about it? Are you excited for the new year for your Emirates? Baliga says hi. Hey, good to see you, Baliga. Thanks for being here. Francisco joining in. Baliga joining in. This is a stream for the ages. Devono says, do you think it's possible for a micronational democracy to work? That is a great question, De Novo. And the answer is absolutely. Any type of micronation can work. Now, that doesn't mean that it's the best thing for it to work. But democracies are a perfectly valid and perfectly reasonable type of micronation to start. There are much weirder ideologies that exist in micronationalism and ones that have far lower success rates than democracy. Democracy is a pretty good choice. I will say democracies have all micronational government types have different difficulty levels and benefits to them. It's like picking a class in an RPG game, right? If you're playing a game and you decide to start off as a specific type of character, that character may be stronger but dumber, or it may be dumber but weaker, or it may be more athletic but less charismatic or something. There could be all different combinations of things that a character could be for you. Have less magic or something. That being the case, creating a government type for your micronation is very similar. That's like your nation's class. And so you can always change that. That can always be improved and adjusted, but it's going to be something really hard to do after you start and after you get built up enough to really make large scale changes to it. So that being the case, without just completely rebranding and almost starting another country. But that being the case, one of the big things for us, excuse me, there are dogs barking. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that. I'm almost certain you can actually. But that being the case, these different types have different pros and cons. Micronational democracies are great. The one con that I would bring up with a micronational democracy is that they take a lot of effort to get started. Of course, that means that, no, excuse me. Other way around. Micronational democracies are fairly easy to get started as far as collecting people. So, when you start a micronational democracy, all you really have to do, is say, hey, we're trying to do this and this and this. This is our country. You can sign up to become a citizen here, and then you can vote in our elections. And that's very popular. People like it. So micronational democracy is fairly easy to get started, very difficult to operate. Now, this is kind of the difference. Operation is going to be key to the longevity of your micronation. How long it lasts, how successful it is, really has to do with how good you are at operating it. It's kind of like the controls in like a racing game or something. There's going to be how fast you can go, which is one thing. That may be your development speed or whatever. But then there's the actual handling of the car. Like how well you can turn it, how easy it is to move it. That operation is kind of like your handling. It is key to you doing what you want to do with your nation. Micronational democracy is hard to handle, hard to operate day to day because there's so many moving pieces. Micronations in general have a very small amount of resources that they deal with day to day. So when you're developing a micronation, you have, especially as a democracy, you have a lot of people who are having similarly equal control over a very small amount of resources, and that causes an insane amount of gridlock. Because if I join your micronation, I have a particular idea of what I want to do and how I want to go about developing it. I vote for different things. I may run for elections and try to get installed in different positions in the government, but my purpose in being there may be radically different than someone else's. This is, how micronations end up with political parties and stuff like that. And the big issue with that is the concept that all of these groups have different interests and struggle to come to agreements. So if there are people who are staunchly opposed to each other's ideologies, they may not come to an agreement on a particular issue, and then that can cause a lot of backup in the nation's operation. Your micronation may operate a lot slower, may struggle to maintain citizen counts, and to provide higher and higher forms of benefit to your citizens if you are not able to operate smoothly. And again, in order to run a micronational democracy, you need a lot of support, and people who are a large number of people who are very, very dedicated to the micronation, which is also just a tough thing for micronations in general. Micronations a lot of the time are things that are seen as like quirky or as part-time hobbies. And so when people develop micronations, they a lot of the time are getting their friends' support and getting, a cheers and a right on, and it's, kind of maybe an inside joke between the friends, hey, we're a part of this nation. Oh, this is like a cool little club that meets on weekends or something. And I think a large percentage of micronations don't get beyond that. And so if you're looking to, which is perfectly fine, by the way, but if you're looking to get beyond that, it can sometimes be difficult to run something like a micronational democracy, because if there's one person or a small group of people who are really dedicated to pushing this thing to be big and to make a lot of money and to, maybe eventually be their full-time place of residence where they live day to day, if you're trying to build something like that, a lot of people you may find who join your democracy may be supportive of the idea and be like, right on, we should do that. That'd be wonderful to help. And they may vote in favor of it, but they may not be able to commit to doing that and putting in all of the time and effort that it takes. So that's not something that has an easy solution no matter what type of nation you're running. However, with a monarchy or with some sort of more direct authority sort of governance type for micronations, it's interesting because they a lot of the time instead are run more like small businesses, not necessarily from a profit point of view. A lot of micronations are, in fact, very unprofitable if you look at the total amount of money that's spent versus gained. But that being the case, these micronations are incredibly uh, incredibly hard to develop because of the amount of commitment that people can put in. Again, very small amount of resources. So as you work on a democracy, as you try to build it up, you will need people there who can actually get things done if you're hoping to grow a larger nation. With a monarchy, or something similar, it's very easy because you can day to day choose what it is that you're doing. People can be citizens and they can have as much or little say as they want by participating more or less. But you can create baseline acceptance levels for your citizens, which can happen in democracies too. But this way you can ensure that there's more being done for the nation by every given citizen. And then on top of that, you can really try to hone in um, um, maybe you can really try to hone in what it is that you're looking to do. I noticed Emperor Von Doom just messaged me. If you're here, greetings, Emperor Von Doom. Great to see you. As you all may know, Emperor Von Doom is the Emperor of the Draconian Empire and also one of our good allies and friends. I hope Empress Alicia is doing well. I hope your family is doing well after a much needed, I suppose, small. I don't know if I can even say it's a rest. Um, uh, in such a heightened time of excitement for your family, having a new member of it is incredibly exciting, and I congratulate you all. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for spending time with us in the new throne room. Francisco says, my micronation population are mostly right-wing and official state ideology is national Christianity. Oh, wow. Okay, so you are dealing with a very niche group of people. I wish you luck with that. I think that may be kind of an exclusionary form of government that would limit growth. But if that's what you're passionate about, if that's what you feel like is right, I wish you luck. Let's see. Train says, can foreigners, as in micronationalists, become citizens of Aeternia? Micronationalists, I think, count as anybody who is a part of a micronation, right? So micronationalists can become a part of Aeternia if they are as far as citizens. They can become citizens if they are willing to give up their other micronational citizenship. The reason for this is double. The first one is because it is a conflict of interest, especially because a lot of micronationalists are leaders or government officials in other micronations. And this can mean that their interests may serve the micronation they came from prior, and could end up in a malicious way. Somebody could theoretically hurt the nation and try to take our information or use something against us. But that's not really our worry. Our main worry is that we end up in a position where, and this is getting into the second point, where people don't spend as much time developing Aeternia as they do their other nation, or just with the things that they're doing in their life. Micronations in general don't usually take up a large portion of someone's time. Even for myself, somebody who is very dedicated to their micronation, spends every day on it. I can only spend a couple hours a day average on developing Aeternia and doing things for it. Sometimes I can push that, but there are days I have to have breaks. There are days that things happen and I can't work on something for a few. And so things can get limited and bunched up. That's somebody who is dedicating a ton of their time to this micronation and only this micronation. For people who have multiple micronational citizenships, even if they are incredibly dedicated to what they believe in, voting in other micronations, working on other micronations policies, trying to go to other micronations events, trying to strategize for other micronations growth, takes up so much time and so much effort that a lot of the time in the past, when we did have other micronationalists who were our citizens, it was very helpful because those people are super wise and they're able to do a lot because they've been in micronationalism. But a lot of micronationalists don't want to give up their positions in their own micronations to join others. And so that's really what we're looking for. As Aeternians, we want Aeternia to become the thing that is our full-fledged macronational citizenship at some point. We want to reside and live our lives in Aeternia. As far as myself, as far as Tiffany, and a number of the citizens that we have now, there are people who are very, very dedicated to Aeternia. And so we want people who are of a similar mind. Even if you don't want to live permanently in Aeternia or anything like that, or be a resident of Aeternia at all, still having the mindset that you're helping other people to achieve that, and that is their full ambition and their one of their primary goals in life. That is incredibly, incredibly tough to do. And so we ask citizens to kind of take on that. One way that makes it a little bit easier is that citizens can either directly support us through helping us in some way, donating some of their time, just making us a thing and sending it to us, anything like that. Just showing us that they care and that they're committed in some way, helping us to grow our culture and our ideology, talking to other people about us. Anytime that they can spend some of their time working with us, helping us, just being with us, that counts for citizenship as well. But then there's also a tax. You can pay $1 a month on our Patreon, and that counts as citizenship. And then you don't have to do anything else if you don't want to. But that all contributes directly to Aeternian society. All that being the case, we want micronationalists as citizens desperately. However, there has been no way thus far of us, confirming and assuring that those micronationalists would be as dedicated as we could be to Aeternia. So we really just want to find people who are interested in Aeternia for its own sake, regardless of the fact that it is a micronation. I think a lot of micronationalists want to join other micronations because it's this interest they have. It's this niche community. It's this thing that the other people in the other micronations get you and what you're doing. But we're not interested in developing Aeternia as a micronation for the sake of micronationalism. We're interested in developing Aeternia as a micronation as the means to become a macronation, which is, I think, a lot of micronations' goals, especially realist micronations' goals. But that's a tough thing to follow without like an insane dedication and a very sometimes hard line approach, which sucks. I would love to have Aeternia have 500, 800 citizens, something like that, and us all just be enjoying our time together. But I don't think that necessarily gives us the best outcome for our resources. Like I said, Aeternia's whole goal, our whole ideology, is about raising the quality of life for our citizens and especially our residents. And so that being the case, the more citizens we have, the more we have to spend on those citizens to make sure that we all have the same base quality of life. So in the future, as we go on, it won't be beneficial for us to have a huge population. We need to have a population that's proportional to the amount of value we generate and how large our economy is. That being the case, real quick, let me go through a few things. Baliga says, I know I'm not AP, but don't try it. Baliga has recently imploded because of it. We are now not very democratic, despite what our name may say, because recently our parliament fell out. And yeah, that's a great point, Baliga. And I wanted to bring that up as well. When we were talking about, how easy is it to start a micronational democracy? Can you start a micronational democracy? That is a big issue as well. A lot of micronations get into a weird position because they are democracies. They are voting bodies. They are equal representation kind of ideologies. However, they do have to have some state official that maintains day-to-day control. And a lot of the time when those gridlocks happen, they do shut down the government. And so it can become a big headache for the leaders of a micronation, especially if you're the one that started the micronation, to have a particular idea of what kind of progress you want to make, and to see that that progress is way under what your expectations were because of a lack of commitment or because of voting gridlock. And so when that happens, you as a micronational leader need to take action to make sure there's day-to-day improvements and even just upkeep of the nation. And so when that happens, a lot of the time these leaders decide, hey, I'll write a special law into place or whatever that gives me more direct control so that I can just kind of run this uh, less democratically. And that really sucks. That's really difficult to do. That sometimes makes micronations lose citizens. That makes people feel like, oh, you're infringing on my rights and you're taking my voting rights away and you're making our voice less popular and less valuable. And so not less popular, less valuable in the course of developing this micronation. So it hurts a lot of people. I think even though the nation's leaders may not be trying to mislead anybody, people have a very particular idea in their own mind of what a democracy looks like to them. And so that being the case, when you tell somebody something's a democracy and they have a particular idea about it, if you have to change things and become less democratic, that may throw the whole idea of it being a democracy out the window for them. And then that can cause conspiracy, and that can cause a whole bunch of other problems where people are actively trying to change the nation because now it's this thing that's less democratic. It's very difficult to do that in a micronation, to actually overturn something that's just not democratic, but you know, it happens. Francisco says, now keep in mind we are not extremist or anything. I get it from Far Cry 6. Makes sense. I liked the name because of the main villain, and Anton Castillo has similar ideology to mine. Interesting. Democratic Beliga says, actually, if you try it if you like. Just I would not recommend it. The system failed 2 times in Beliga. That I'm not trying a 3rd time. That would be stupid. Makes sense. Very tough though. Oh goodness, Francisco says nationalist militarist. That's not good. Oh goodness. We talked about that before though, Francisco. I'm not a fan of that ideology. Good luck to you in developing your nation, but I hope you change your ways. I don't want to see Francisco on their supervillain arc. Serbian says, but we got a few problems that we can't control. Makes sense. Beliga says, is it an elected body? Serbia says, yep. Beliga says, smart, we used PR and that went as well as you would think. Serbia says Belgium and Beliga in the US. Beliga says the UK. This is nice. Oh, also speaking of Beliga, we actually just sent Christina of Psycholdia a package of stickers. I don't have them with me right now, but if you check our Instagram or our TikTok or any of those, we created some videos of it. I might have even made it as a short on here. So check out our shorts if you can later. We made stickers that are a part of a collaboration between Aeternia and Psycholdia that show off, like, you know, these are like social media, like these nations need your help. We're looking for citizens, and you know, stuff like that. And we sent them a few different sticker designs, and so they're going to be putting up those stickers at different places in the UK and kind of taking pictures of them. Particularly, I think, in London, there where Christine is going to school. So if you guys are around the London area at all and you happen to see one of these, let us know. Or even just if you follow Christina and Psycholdia, you could catch it there as well. But I am super excited to post what they send us and to talk about that. They're not going to be back in the UK until next year, but it was convenient because they're going back to their home state of Texas in the US and to Psycholdia's original founding place for the holidays. And so sending the mail to them in Texas was a lot easier. Okay. Serbia says, I mean, we do claim part of Serbian territory. Gotcha. Okay, so then I'm going to keep skipping past this because it seems like they're talking to each other. Devono says, how do you feel about not being a democracy at first when you don't have much people who are serious, but later down the line when there are more serious people, you plan to become a democracy? Yes, absolutely. Like I said, that's kind of similar to Aeternia's development. Not saying that we're going to develop into a pure democracy, but we do want to have a more representative government as time goes on, as more people dedicate more seriously to its growth. Very cool. Serbia says there are 19 citizens of their nation. 2 are not active because of personal issues, and that is tough. That happens a lot. Also, thank you guys. We just hit an hour, so right now we've had approximately 4 to 8 people in here for the live stream. So I appreciate you guys being in here, and that means that like we have maybe when we get off 5, 6, 7 watch time hours, which is great. That adds a ton to the Empire's development and getting us that much closer to our goal of 2,000 watch time hours. We actually want to go to 4, but this will be a great way to start. Beliga says their state religion. Oh, they're talking about their stuff. Okay, Drew says, hello, AP, how's it going? In Aeternia. Great to see you, Drew. If you guys don't know, Drew is one of our previous citizens and an aristocrat in Aeternia. One of the things I didn't mention when somebody asked me if it's possible for micronationalists, citizens of other micronations to become an Aeternian, one of the things that you can become without becoming an Aeternian, which connects you very deeply to our society, is an aristocrat. Aristocrats have special benefits in Aeternia. Drew and his brother Matt are both aristocrats here in the Empire. You can actually check our website that has our aristocrat board on it, which is the most wealthy people in our society, the people who own the most imperial notes. And Drew and Matt are high on that list, so they are very special aristocrats in Aeternia. And that being the case, they are people who are very deeply connected to Aeternia. They are not able to dedicate all the time that they would like, I think, or we would like, but nonetheless, they are an honor to have and are going to get special benefits as we continue to grow. One of the things, Drew, you might not know, we are getting ready to put in our driveway at Vitae. So that means that we will be starting to allow visitors to come on Vitae slowly over maybe the next half of 12,024. We're getting really close to a point where we can start doing more out at Vitae, having people over, starting to stay longer hours out there and actually make larger developments into agriculture and into our industries there. But that being the case, I appreciate you being here, Drew. It is super cool to see you catching in on the updates. If you haven't seen, we actually posted a video tonight or earlier this morning of Christmas in Aeternia, actually showing how we developed this this RV and specifically this throne room. So if you want to check that out, it was pretty fun. It's like a 3-minute video, but it took like 2 weeks to make, so it was quite a lot. Super fun, and I hope you guys enjoy it. That being the case, we have a ton. We earlier just went through all of the things that are from this wall, and I believe almost all of these things, maybe not all of them, almost all of these things were made in 12,023 in Aeternia. So, think about the growth that these six shelves represent, going from, a lot of our development having been over the internet to starting to develop things like our imperial notes, starting to develop little tools and things for our own personal use, like our electric arc furnace that we made that's made small little tiny, half-formed ingots and stuff like that, and little pieces of metal that we're starting to get somewhere but weren't quite there yet, to getting to all of these high-quality products. And we're going a lot further, a lot quicker. So thank you, guys. Ooh, Tiffany's in here. Tiffany's in the house, in the throne room, and got tiny kitten. If you guys haven't seen this tiny kitten, it's because it's a brand new tiny kitten.
He just started coming around the house.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. He just started coming around the house.
I thought,
no, like last week he just started coming around the house.
Why? I thought your neighbor dropped them off. I thought it was supposed to be a thing with your neighbor.
No, yeah, they're gonna take him. The neighbor had kittens,
right?
And they're gonna take. Yeah, this is one of them, and they're gonna take him and give him a home.
Cute.
But yeah, he's just been hanging around the house right now.
He is a super sweet boy. I was telling everybody that your shelves are so cool. Oh goodness, I have a parrot on me. I have a parrot. Don't get down, parrot. Hang out. This cat parrot is technically now the most powerful person in Aeternia because it's on the throne and on top of me. So really, if you guys think about it, Aeternia is a cat society. Oh, now it's off me. I can resume the throne. Thank you. Cats will reign no longer. There's about a 3-second attack on the empire that happened from this cute little boy. It was dangerous times here, but we survived. Thank you for being here. Hey,
Hey.
are you having fun
Yeah.
with this boy?
Yeah, I walked out the door, and you know what he did?
What?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I walked out the door, and I went to hit you, and he went and bounced up with hands in the air,
Oh.
like at me, and I was like, "Oh, I'll catch you." Okay.
Like on the glass, or he just jumped at you?
No, yeah, he just like jumped at me, and I was like, "Oh."
What a cute boy. Oh gosh, he's gonna make it sound awful on the audio. Can you guys hear his loud purring? If you guys wanted cat ASMR. Now I look like a James Bond villain, like a Austin Powers villain. Dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. Next time in the Empire of Aeternia. Dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. Super cute. Thank you, Tiff.
Oh, and kisses.
Well, he's biting.
Yeah, he's being playful.
I was doing that earlier. I was rubbing him, and he started like clawing me and getting me, doing the little kicks. But yeah. Oh, Tiff. Tell everybody about our video. Are you hype about our video that we put out today?
Oh, the one of us doing all of this?
Yeah, Christmas video.
Christmas video.
Yeah, Tiffany played a big role in the Christmas video. It was very cool.
No.
Oh.
Let's come hang out with you.
Oh goodness. Oh, he's in the chair. Oh, he's leaving. He's escaping. Oh no. The intruder is escaping. He took over the throne. We fought back, and now he's abandoning his position. He's retreating. We're becoming more victorious every day.
No, he's just exploring.
He is. He's checking out the rest of the RV. Now it's safe for mammalian life to survive in here. It's going better for sure. Now that it's not a biological hazard. Goodness. So yeah, we're slowly picking it up. No more big leaks. No more big leaks. Got it pretty sealed up. Still need to like do more coats because that's not going to hold up very long, and it's not. We haven't ripped all the ceiling out, so we're not certain. Sorry, I was trying to throw my hand back at you. And also, we haven't torn the whole ceiling out, so we don't know if there are any like little internal leaks that are still kind of eroding the wood. But it is not. It's relatively weatherproofed. It's not pouring down on our heads anymore. It's not building up a ton of moisture in here anymore. So that is super good. So Drew, I hope that's helped to show you kind of what we've been up to. Drew, let me ask you this. You have been a big supporter of the Imperial market for some time. Would you hit up this little hatchet? We have a cool little one-of-a-kind hatchet that we made here in the Empire for collecting herbs. We've been using it in a few previous videos, but we are wanting to make more of these. So if these start to become popular and we start to sell a couple, then we will make more. But we haven't put it on the Imperial market yet. We want to see if there's any interest in it before we do. But they're pretty cool. They're just these little hand tools you can use for collecting herbs or cutting up small pieces of material like little pieces of rope and twine and stuff. It's just a cool little tool to have on your tool belt. Stab, stab.
Yeah.
Oh, she got me. I'm going down. Tiffany in the throne now. Tiff, how you feel?
It's at least nice to have it clean back here.
I will say I like your fit. You got the big boots on.
The snow boot?
She's ready to go into battle. Oh, hey, he's running around. Oh goodness. Very cool. But Tiff I was showing off your shelves and how you had the idea for like the mossy stuff. It works really well with the with the vines. It's super cool. And we got all our stuff. Our little ingots too. If anybody's interested in buying aluminum ingots, let us know. Okay. Francisco said, AP, what is your stance on the Israel-Gaza conflict? That all war is horrible and that people deserve to have a good quality of life without constantly worried about being attacked or starved out or, their homes getting shot up and stuff. So both sides of the issue, absolutely terrible. Death on any part is a horrendous act. And should be avoided at all costs. But I will say 100% like free Palestine for sure, for certain. Francisco said, I think I told you mine. Baliga says, interesting. I'll keep an eye out for some of these stickers. Hey, thank you so much. And again, if you follow us on like Instagram and TikTok and stuff, we'll probably have that up there as well. Francisco said, AP sitting like stalling on that chair. You know, I'm not stalling. I'm making it move. I'm trying to get stuff going. Aaron says, good evening, Emperor AP. Good evening, Aaron. How do you feel about the throne room? Again, this is from a video that we just released today. So if you want to check that out and watch how we built this, it's also a Christmas themed video. So if you want to watch it before the holiday, it's cute. I love it. It was super fun to make. It took us a long time too. It's a pretty short video, like 3.5 minutes, and then there's a little extra for the other stuff, but for the thank you for our patrons and stuff. But very, very cool. Drew says, sounds amazing. Batey is slowly growing into a very prosperous place. Appreciate the updates and will make note to see the video later tonight. Hey, thank you so much, Drew. That means a lot. For some reason, the video didn't do like as hot as I think it should have. And I think partially it's just not getting shared to enough people. Maybe, you know, the way we titled the video was weird or something about it. But I thought it was cool. I thought it was hype. It could be a tags thing. I really don't know. But if you guys can like that video, I know I'm harping. It helps. It helps a ton. So thank you guys. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, and it means a lot. It'll share it to more people. Get them in that Christmas spirit. Baliga says it's Christmas Eve in the DRB. Hey, congratulations, Baliga. It's getting close here. We got, let's see how many hours. We have another basically 5 hours, 55 minutes till it is Christmas Eve here in Aeternia.
Today's the 23rd.
Yep.
Where is our break going?
Right. Dun 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 dun.
Dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
Oh.
It is going away quick.
I know.
Mm.
I will never be able to complete any.
Hey, you got it. Do you need me to come and help you? Okay. Do you want me to come hang out with you?
We'll do a video.
Okay. I'll hang out for a little bit longer and then I'll come hang out with you.
It's been an hour.
It has been. And my phone's on 18%. I'll have to go probably in the next like 20, 30 minutes, guys. But we got a few things to continue updating on, and I want to get everybody's things. Hey, Aaron said 2 of the views are mine for your videos today. Your production value has been improving. Thank you so much. Again, I'm hype about it. I'm thinking maybe it's just that this topic wasn't a particularly like hype topic for Aeternia, and maybe because we didn't put micronation in the title, maybe that's an issue. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. And yeah, 100%, we are trying to hit on that more and more, improving that production quality, getting it bigger and better. TRC joined in. So TRC here. Hey, great to see you, Arjun. Thanks for being here. Again, excited to hang out. Excited to talk to you more about stuff. Aaron, I'm excited to see your email. Like, I don't think I fully have like understood what your stuff is about yet, but I'm excited to see it. I'm sure you're breaking for the holidays, but whenever you get back at it, please send me some updates. I'm excited to hear. Let's see who else. Arjun, yeah, I'm incredibly grateful for you becoming a part of our nation. I'm excited to talk to you about strategy stuff more. I know I just talked a little bit earlier on the stream about your new citizenship and how you're coming up with new ideas for us and helping us to improve already as of, a few days that you've been a citizen. So Thank you so much for continuing to help us with that. Whenever you want to talk about ideas, whenever you want to develop stuff with us, let us know. I'm happy to share more updates with you soon. I just wanted to get this video out before I did anything else in the background of Aeternia, because we've been working on it for 2 weeks. So like I said, if you guys haven't checked out the new Christmas video, it's a throne for Christmas. Let us know. Aaron says the throne room has a lot of potential. Looking forward to seeing how your growth continues. Hey, thank you so much, Aaron. It means a lot. We're definitely trying. We're trying to get it up. Yeah. Tips getting him. Beating him up. There's no way he can win. But we have 19 likes too. 10 viewers, 19 likes. We're slowly growing up. Let me ask you this, Arjun. Since you've been here, I know a very, very short period of time. How do you feel being an Aeternian? Do things feel any different? Do you feel excited about being here? Are there any things in particular that you aspire to? Things that you really want to achieve in Aeternia? Also, 10 views, 18 likes. Thank you guys. We're getting close to 20. We're like right there. Okay. Baliga says TRC. Aaron says, great to see Tiffany's involvement and enthusiasm. Thank you so much. It means a lot, for sure. TRC says, congrats on the throne room. It makes Aeternia seem more powerful in a sense, Yeah, 100%. I agree. It's definitely an aesthetic thing for us. And it's also, like I said, just a practical thing. A lot of the time I have developed Aeternia solely based on practicality. So like, we're not trying to be super flashy. We're not trying to buy a whole bunch of expensive stuff that puts us further in debt as a nation. We really want to do stuff that is primarily to further the next step of our evolution. However, sorry, I had to mess with that kitty cat. I've been really focused not on doing things that are flashy, but on that pure evolution, pure, trying to be as practical as possible about our development. So this felt like a very flashy, like, oh, why are we now doing, oh, interesting. The light just cut on. Why are we now doing stuff that's this very, flashy thing? And I would say to that, this is super cool because it has a lot of practical purpose. And it's something that is flashy still, and I'm super excited about it. In fact, the flashiness of it is kind of in its whole purpose. This, again, will be a background for new videos. It will also be a place for us to hold ceremonies and to have people be able to come visit a place that is, more reminiscent of the ideas of the Empire and feels familiar. We want to make this place an icon for Aeternian development. So we are slowly getting it together. It's going to take a long time, a lot of effort, but we're here to put in the work. So we already have started, and I'm super excited about it. It's an amazing Christmas miracle.
Yeah. You like your floating shells?
I do. Tiffany, again, made incredible shells. Both super functional, super stable, and yes, well, yeah, and super practical as well. Like she said, they can be removed. So, she's showing it off. She's showing off the functionality of the shelf. Here we go. Whoa, look at that. So if we ever need space to do something in here, and we just need that space in particular, boom. Also, yeah, check out those shelves. Super cool. They have like moss growing on them and stuff. It's like a super, uh, naturey type of feel. It's very cool. Eventually, we'll probably have to like continue cleaning out the RV and making improvements and changes. And I'm sure a lot of this will change over time as we keep going. But this is an amazing start, and again, kind of connects us to the wildness of Vitae and how that goes. And again, that piece that Tiffany just put up there that looks like a little bowl, just the inside of the slag from one of our crucibles, one of our previous melts. And so, yeah, slowly developing this big thing that looks like a key, being a cool little piece of metal that we poured and formed, accidentally just ending up, I think, like busting on the ground. But still a very cool piece. Oh, the cat's getting frisky. He's getting frisky. He's
Yeah.
playing with stuff.
I think he's gonna get into some crazy stuff.
I think so too.
He's very gassy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. He's a very wild boy. So first off, TRC and Aaron bringing up some stuff. Aaron said this year's end has seen several unexpected project ends, and then the scramble to shore up the impact of those challenges. I continue to appreciate your patience. Of course, again, sorry for the rush. If we're putting any pressure on you at all, I don't mean to do that. I'm legitimately just enthusiastic. It feels like when you're waiting for like a new TV show or like a new season of a series to come out, and you're like, we got this big cliffhanger at the end of the last one. Like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? That's how I've been feeling. I've been feeling like I'm waiting for like my show to drop. I'm like, ooh, what's the sauce? What's the goodness? TRC says, I'm very excited and I've been waiting to for years. I've been wanting to revolutionize Aeternia. It's a long-term plan, may take many years, but as long as we have good plans and strategies, it'll go well. Agreed. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for trying to revolutionize Aeternia. We have been... we did hit 20 likes. Thank you guys for being here. We were trying to get to it. We achieved it. But that being the case, I wanted to say that we have been really trying to improve things here in Aeternia, and I know that with passion and dedication like yours, we're going to be able to take our resources and go a lot further, a lot faster. Again, part of what makes Aeternia so difficult to run and takes such a long time for us to develop is the fact that there's a limited amount of people. We have ideas for how we want to move forward, but we need manpower in order to achieve those. So we've learned a lot of lessons, but we do need more ideas as well. We have a particular idea and track that we're trying to follow. And so people like you, Arjun, coming in and providing your fresh input can maybe fill in a lot of the gaps that we've been having and can bring experience that neither of us bring to the table. So that's super valuable. And thank you so much for being here. Again, I'm excited for at some point you to meet the other members of our government and stuff like that, and to just get to know who we are a little better. One day I hope we get to meet, come visit Vitae or something. She got me. I think I'm done. I'm done for. I haven't. This is something that I've had for a while, that we found in storage when I had to roughly take stuff out of storage. But it is torn and mangled up right now. So excuse that. But let me show you guys. When we flip around to the other side of the throne room, we have this, which I think is pretty cool. A whiteboard. So sometimes we'll talk about stuff and have ideas that I'm trying to explain, and I don't do a great job of explaining it. Or you may feel like, hey, he should put like a little like infographic or something up so that people would understand what the heck he's talking about. Well, at very least now I can start to draw on a little whiteboard. So we have, again, another practical purpose for Aeternia's development of the throne room as a strategy and sort of concept space. So this is super cool. And Tiffany is once again playing with this cat. Let me see if I can slowly move this without spooking it. I'm going to angle the camera down so that you guys can see Tiff play with the cat while we talk. Angling it down a little more. There we go. They're super cuties. It's happening. They're adorable. And then I will bend down really hard on the throne, or maybe crouch by the throne, and talk to you guys.
Trying to play and scratch his ear all at the same time.
It's trying to figure out which one it's doing. While we hang out, I am gonna try and jump in and continue reading comments. Arjun says as well, for the garden, you need to identify people's needs. Everyone needs corn, and corn is high in yield. I think it's a good investment for the Empire and will help it grow in the agriculture sector. I have also been recommended corn. That's very interesting that you say that. For that purpose as well, I know crops need, especially at a large scale, like if we were going to make all of Vitae, like cropland or whatever, like our full 3.3 acres, that would be a ton of water for us. So that's going to be one of our big dilemmas in the future is, how we get enough water to make it something that's super valuable for us and that can really grow quickly. But that's a great suggestion. I would say as well, one of our big issues is which type of corn we would want to grow if we decided to grow corn, right? Because in addition to being such a large crop that does need quite a bit of water, there are pros and cons to the different types. If you're trying to grow corn that, for example, people are going to eat, like popcorn or even just regular, yellow corn, white corn, stuff like that, those are going to be need to grow pretty large and take up quite a bit of space, which again, for the value, may be worth it. There's another type of corn that is specifically for animals, animal feed and things like that. With Aeternia being in an area that is pretty abundant in agriculture, that may be a way for us to go as well for feeding our own animals, as well as and getting into that sector a little bit more. The livestock industry, as well as being able to start selling that feed to other farmers and other agriculture projects. So I do think that's a great idea, Arjun, and I really appreciate you bringing it up. We're definitely trying to go in that direction. We'll have to figure out when the best year to start trying to plant for corn would be, because again, I think right now we're still in a heavy experimental phase, and we want to try to pump out something that's going to be of immediate gratification for us. And so I think one of the kind of directions to go with that is to actually grow a larger variety of smaller, volumes of products. So it may not be as profitable for us as, say, if we were able to sell, uh, you know, 1,000 pounds of corn, but at the same time, it will bring us a lot of opportunity as far as seeing, like you said, what people's needs are, as well as taking care of our own needs, being able to make things from a garden, pickles, have our own onions, have our own garlic, our own cucumbers, stuff like that. Excuse me. TRC said flowers are also a good plant. It makes sense as far as like for developing into a floral industry, like, cutting and selling the flowers to florists stuff. I definitely agree with that. I would say, though, that I think for our location, that may be more difficult. We are not super close to a, oh, well, now they're like pretty much off. So I guess I'm going to tilt it back up to the throne room, show off over here. Sorry for the audio jumping up and down, guys. Okay, let's see. So, like Arjun said, flowers being a good one. I agree, and I appreciate it. As well, real fast, we are going to have to go. My phone is on 5% now, and I think is rapidly dropping. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate you checking out the RV. Once again, make sure to go and check out our most recent video. It means a ton and is going to help us a lot to continue growing. So if you want to see more about it, let us know. Arjun says, what do you think is a good way to make profit for the Empire? I'm excited to talk to you about it. I'll hit you up soon. With that, I can DM you on Discord. Great to see you all. Aeternia forever. Thank you for liking the video. And we will see you soon in the Imperial Throne Room.
Throne room.
Throne Room. See you guys.